Hiccup raises his dagger, ready to catch a body. He's aiming to execute the black dragon right in front of him. The dragon closes its eyes, accepting its fate like a champ. This instantly hits Hiccup right in the feels. He freezes for a moment, hesitation kicking in. He decides to holster the weapon and dip, but he barely takes 2 steps before stopping again. He realizes the dragon is injured because of him, so he decides to cut the ropes and free this beast. The dragon is confused by this sudden mercy. As the last rope snaps, the dragon pounces instantly. It pins Hiccup to the ground. Is this an ungrateful snake moment? After screaming in his face with pure dragon breath, the dragon turns around and books it. Because of the injury, it crashes around like it's drunk driving and falls off a cliff. Hiccup is shaken so hard his legs give out. He swears he is never, ever trying to kill a dragon again. See, on the edge of this world lives a tribe of Vikings who solve everything with violence. Although they're all buff and strong, they have one major issue. In the eyes of these Vikings, dragons are just pests that steal sheep and burn down their houses for fun. So, naturally, slaying dragons is their entire personality. It's the only way to get street cred in this hood. But Hiccup, despite being the chief's son, is built like a toothpick. Everyone roasts him constantly because every time dragons raid the village, everyone else is fighting while he hides in the blacksmith shop, fixing broken gear while feeling absolutely useless. He desperately wants to prove he's him, so today he cooks up a plan with his custom invention. He wants to use a secret weapon to bag a dragon, and finally get that verified badge from his tribe. He wheels his ballista to the back hill like a sniper. Aiming at the dark sky, he spots the Night Fury diving bomb the village. He charges up the shot, and fires blindly into the night. He hears a scream and realizes he actually hit the most dangerous dragon on the server, the Night Fury, the rarest drop in the game. Hiccup is hyping himself up, shouting, "I did it! I finally got one!" But then a monstrous nightmare pulls up on him. It chases him down relentlessly. Just as he's about to be a snack, his dad appears. Stoic punches the dragon in the face. The dragon is dizzy from that haymaker. Stoic follows up with an uppercut, then dodges a fire blast like he's in the Matrix, and delivers a savage body slam. The dad resets his stance, looking like a raid boss. The dragon tries to step up again. Stoic yells, "Come at me!" He delivers a pressure point strike. The dragon realizes it's outmatched. Stoic shouts, "Ha!" and tackles it again. The dragon decides to rage quit and flies away. But a pillar the dragon melted earlier crashes down. It frees all the other dragons the tribe captured. This makes his dad look like a total clown, even though Hiccup swears he hit a Night Fury. It was too chaotic, so nobody believes his cap. To prove he's not lying, the next day, Hiccup goes solo into the forest, following the trail of broken trees. He finally finds his loot deep in the woods. The jet black Night Fury is tied up, completely immobilized. Then we get the scene from the start, after Hiccup releases the Night Fury. He goes home and his dad drops a bomb. "You're going to dragon killing school tomorrow." But in training, even the weakest grung chases him around like a toy. He almost gets deleted, but Gobber saves him. For 300 years, Vikings and dragons have been ops, so why didn't the Night Fury kill him? Hiccup can't stop thinking about it. He goes back to the forest to investigate. He finds the dragon stuck in a valley. It tries to fly out, but fails every time. Turns out, Hiccup's shot took off its tail fin. It's grounded permanently. Hiccup drops his pen, catching the dragon's attention. They lock eyes. Hiccup sees curiosity, not killer intent. Maybe dragons aren't purely evil. With this crazy theory, Hiccup rushes home and opens the Book of Dragons. This book is written in blood by ancestors, listing every weakness for every dragon, like the deadly monstrous nightmare, or deadly nadder, the sneaky zippleback. The pages are full of skulls and warnings, basically saying, run on sight. Hiccup flips to the end, but finds nothing. No data on the Night Fury. Just a warning. Lightning and death itself. Do not fight this thing. Hide and pray it doesn't find you. Hiccup thinks. It didn't look that scary though. To test his theory, Hiccup brings a fish. He wants to befriend the legendary beast, but the dragon is super sus of him. Hiccup realizes it's scared of the dagger, so he drops the weapon and kicks it away. The dragon lowers its guard a bit. Hiccup creeps closer. The dragon retracts its teeth. Then snack, teeth pop out instantly. It snatches the fish. Hiccup is shook. The dragon finishes the fish in one bite. Then it starts creeping toward Hiccup, backing him up against a rock. Hiccup thinks it's still hungry. I only brought one, bro. The dragon hacks something up. It spits out a gross, half-eaten fish head and looks at him expectantly. It's an invitation. If he eats it, they're cool. Hiccup forces himself to grab the slimy head. He shoves it in his mouth, trying not to puke. The dragon licks its lips, signaling swallow it. Trust is hard to earn, fam. Hiccup swallows and forces a smile. The dragon tries to mimic him, making a goofy, gummy smile. Hiccup stands up. He wants to touch his former enemy. The dragon flinches and moves away, but the hostility is gone. The dragon watches Hiccup, drawing in the dirt with a stick. So it grabs a tree branch and draws a maze around Hiccup, looking proud of its art skills. Hiccup can't tell what it is. He tries to step back, but steps on the drawing. The dragon growls, "Don't ruin the art!" Hiccup lifts his foot apologetically. He navigates the maze carefully. Getting closer to the dragon, Hiccup closes his eyes and reaches out. The dragon hesitates but leans in. Its snout touches his hand. Boom. Interspecies friendship unlocked. Hiccup is officially the first dragon rider. From then on, he brings baskets of fish daily, bringing gifts to the scariest creature alive, building a bridge of trust, until one day the dragon gives him a toothless smile. Hiccup names him perfectly, Toothless. But back at camp, Gobber explains dragons can't fly if injured. A grounded dragon is a dead dragon. Hiccup feels guilty immediately, so he uses his nerdy engineering skills to forge a solution. He stays up all night designing. Hammering metal, sewing leather, creating a prosthetic tail fin. The next day, while Toothless is eating, Hiccup attaches the new tail. Toothless feels the balance return. He's hyped instantly. He spreads his wings. And takes off without warning, dragging Hiccup into the sky. Once they're airborne, Toothless flings Hiccup off, without Hiccup controlling the tail. Toothless spins out of control, so Hiccup upgrades the gear, adding a saddle and pedals. The first dragon rider is born. Let's do this! Here we go! They soar over the ocean, weaving through sea stacks. It's absolute freedom. Toothless is loving it too. Breaking through the clouds, reaching the stratosphere. But adventures have risks. Hiccup's cheat sheet flies away. Toothless brakes hard. Hiccup gets launched again, without the pilot. Toothless is falling like a rock. They plummet toward the ground. Hiccup pulls a mid-air acrobatic move, grabbing onto Toothless. He locks back into the saddle, and pulls up at the last second. This near-death experience bonds them for life. Hiccup learns all the dragon secrets, like they hate eels. They love chin scratches. And just like cats, they chase light reflections. Hiccup uses these hacks in training. He goes from zero to hero, stunning the whole village. Even Astrid gets jealous. She stalks him to find his secret. And discovers the forbidden friendship. Befriending a dragon is treason. Astrid runs to snitch, but Toothless snatches her up. He takes them both for a ride, flying high into the sky. Astrid is terrified at first. Put me down. But seeing the view, she realizes dragons are majestic. Suddenly, Toothless acts weird. He gets summoned by a strange sound. flying toward a dark fog bank. Hundreds of dragons appear, all carrying food. They fly into a volcano, dropping the food into a pit, feeding something massive down there. One dragon drops a tiny fish and gets eaten by the monster in the pit. It's a dragon queen, the Red Death. She enslaves all the smaller dragons. If they don't feed her, they get eaten. Hiccup realizes the truth. Dragons raid villages to survive. They are victims, not villains. Back home, Hiccup begs Astrid to keep quiet. He knows his dad will start a war, and he needs to protect Toothless. Astrid is now Team Dragon 2. A few days later, is graduation day. Hiccup has to kill a nightmare in front of everyone. The dragon comes out, angry. The crowd cheers for blood, but Hiccup drops his weapon. He wants to show them that peace is an option. This is a huge insult to Vikings. His dad is furious. He smashes a hammer on the cage. The noise spooks the dragon. It attacks Hiccup. Toothless hears Hiccup scream. He blasts out of the valley, rushing to save his best friend just as the nightmare prepares to roast Hiccup. Toothless bursts in. He blasts the nightmare away. The two dragons brawl. Toothless pins the nightmare down. He roars, protecting Hiccup. But now the Vikings swarm him. They attack the monster. Toothless could roast them all, but Hiccup tells him to stop. Toothless surrenders and gets captured. Hiccup tries to explain. He was protecting me. But Stoic won't listen. He disowns his son. Then Hiccup accidentally reveals the dragon nest. Stoic realizes Toothless can lead them there. He decides to launch a full invasion. Using Toothless as a GPS, the fleet sets sail. Hiccup watches them leave, hopeless. But he refuses to give up. He rallies his classmates, teaching them how to ride the training dragons. Meanwhile, the fleet reaches the nest. Stoic orders the attack. Catapults fire at the mountain. They blow open the entrance. Fire lights up the cave. Thousands of dragons fly out, ignoring the humans completely. They are fleeing the boss. Suddenly, the ground shakes. The Vikings realize they messed up. The Red Death bursts out. It's the size of a mountain. Humans are like ants to it. The Vikings panic and run. Their attacks do 0 damage. The Red Death breathes fire, burning the ships instantly. Stoic feels instant regret. He led his people into a trap. He decides to sacrifice himself to distract the monster. Suddenly, bang! An explosion hits the beast. Hiccup and the squad arrive. The first Dragon Rider cavalry. They dive bomb the Red Death. Astrid distracts it. Hey, ugly! But the boss is too tanky. Hiccup spots Toothless on a burning ship. He tries to free him, but the chains are stuck. The ship is sinking. Toothless is dragged underwater. Hiccup dives in, but passes out. Stoic jumps in. He breaks the chains, saving the dragon. Toothless grabs Stoic and Hiccup and flies them to surface. Stoic looks at Toothless. Thank you. He finally accepts the dragon. Then Hiccup mounts up. Let's end this. Toothless shoots a plasma blast, getting the Red Death's attention. Hiccup flies straight up into the clouds. The giant dragon chases them. Toothless is faster and agile. The Red Death can't hit them. It sprays fire everywhere, burning Toothless's fake tail. Hiccup knows they have one shot. He dives straight down. The Red Death follows, gaining speed, but it can't pull up in time, just as it opens its mouth to fire. Toothless turns around and shoots a blast right down its throat, igniting the gas inside. The monster explodes from the inside out. It crashes into the ground. Boom! Hiccup and Toothless try to pull up, but the tail fin is gone. They crash into the explosion. Hiccup gets knocked off, falling into the fire. Toothless dives after him, ignoring his own safety. The dust settles. Stoic finds Toothless on the ground. He thinks his son is dead. I'm sorry. But then Toothless opens his wings, revealing Hiccup safe in his arms. But Hiccup paid a price. Later, Hiccup wakes up back home. Toothless is right there. Hiccup tries to get up and realizes his left leg is gone, replaced by a metal prosthetic. Just like Toothless's tail, they are literally matching now. He walks outside and sees Vikings and dragons living together. The war is over. Astrid punches him, then kisses him. A perfect ending. If you want more epic recaps, sub to the channel and see you next time.